Winter solstice, 21st of December. What is the spiritual significance of winter solstice? To get the answer, we need to tune into our ancient ancestors' wheel of the year, their solar calendar, with its 8 clear demarcation points, each bringing in its own unique energy and rhythm. For our ancient ancestors, their wheel of year began at Samhain, 31st of October, with the sowing of the seeds in the dark, warm womb of Mother Earth, from where all life comes. The beginning of the gestation period, the incubation period. The next important date in the year after Samhain was the winter solstice, 21st of December in the Northern Hemisphere, 23rd of June in the Southern Hemisphere, between Samhain and Imbolc. 21st of December is the date that marks the shortest day and the longest night. From here on, the days are starting to lengthen again. The light is returning. The light being born again from the darkness. Our ancient ancestors believed that on December the 21st, the sun stood still for 3 days. And then on December the 25th, it began its ascent again. So the winter solstice represented for them the demise of the sun, and it was a symbol of death. The word solstice, itself means sun standing still. On December the 22nd, the sun sinks to its lowest point in the sky and remains still, or at least was perceived to remain still for 3 days. On December the 25th, it begins to rise and move north again, symbolising the bringing of the longer days, warmth and spring. This sun festival for our ancient ancestors marked both the end of the year, the darkness, on the eve of the solstice, and the beginning of the new year, the light, on solstice morning, when the new year began its long journey from the shortest day of the year towards the longest day of the year, the summer solstice, on June 21st. On the morning of the winter solstice at Newgrange, the rising sun comes through a lintel over the doorway, and a growing, lighted pathway penetrates into the inner chamber, until it reaches the triple spiral carved into the rock. This has been happening for at least 5,000 years, and could well go on for thousands of years to come. Likewise at Loch Crew, the spectacular light show as the sun enters the passage and travels along it to enter the chamber under the cairn. In mythology, the winter months were associated with the Cailleach, the old woman, the crone, the hag, the wise old ancient one. She is depicted as a pale-faced, long-haired, stooped, wrinkled old woman leaning on her stick. The crone, that aspect of the goddess or the divine feminine, which is connected with death and decay, but ultimately, as the hermetic principle of polarity dictates, leads to rebirth and new life. The crone, the last of the triple goddesses, with Maiden Grania and Mother Danu. The crone, one of the most ancient of mythological beings. The crone, connected to the sovereignty of the earth, the season of winter, and the other world. The crone, guardian of the earth through the dark and lonely days of winter. For our ancient ancestors, it was the old ones who held the stories and the wisdom of their people and carried this forward. Loch Crew, an ancient megalithic site in County Meath, also known as Slieve na Cailleach, and which bears evidence of the indigenous spirituality of our ancient ancestors, has what is known as the Hag's Chair, obviously associated with the crone or old hag. For our ancient ancestors, from Samhain until the winter solstice was a time of darkness, stillness and emptiness. But now, with the winter solstice, all that darkness, stillness and emptiness has reached its peak, and the journey begins towards spring and new life. And in our world of polarities, which our ancient ancestors understood. That period of darkness and emptiness was absolutely vital to the whole process of the cycle of life. All life comes from darkness. That is the great universal law, irrefutable and indisputable. All life is born from the dark womb of Mother Earth. The seed of light is sown in the womb of the darkness of the year. And our ancient ancestors, in their monument of Newgrange, welcomed the coming of the thin ray of light again as it broke through and travelled along the passage to enter the large chamber on the occasion of the winter solstice. And now, once the winter solstice has passed, the journey out again from the depth of the darkness and stillness has begun, and the lengthening days herald in the coming of spring and new life. The days of the Cailleach are decreasing. For us today, the Cailleach has many lessons. She teaches us there is no need to fear growing older, as she charges forward with a formidable energy, but at the same time also loving and compassionate. The Cailleach is beyond trying to impress people and beyond looking for approval or recognition. The Cailleach embraces old age as a natural process of life. And the Cailleach is present for all of us, as we all share the grandmother wisdom and knowledge from our ancient ancestors. We are taught by her to respect all living things, to practice gratitude for absolutely everything, and to discover how magical a place this world really is. There is only the one story, the one great universal story. And there's only ever been the one great universal story since the dawn of humanity. The story of the hero. The fascinating story of internal transformation. The painful learning of the lessons we need to learn as we journey towards enlightenment. Heroes are not born. Neither are they bred. They are self-made. They come to self-knowledge, self-realisation, through the challenges they face and the way in which they surmount those challenges. The script may change, but the plot remains constant. The self-redeeming hero, coming to self-awareness, gaining self-knowledge through overcoming difficulties. The self-redeeming hero, facing his darker, lower nature, dying to that nature and being reborn into his higher nature. Those great heroes and heroines facing and embracing the energy of the Cailleach. There is no other way. Facing and embracing the energy of surrender, darkness and death. And this is the story of the life of each one of us. Each one of us becomes the hero in our own script. The energy of the Cailleach is the mother energy that challenges all of us, her children, to stop acting in destructive ways. It is the energy that brings death and destruction to those dreams and fantasies that are not aligned to our own highest good. It is the energy that supports and holds our intentions and plans when we are in alignment with our highest good. It is the energy that holds us safely as we embrace the darkness within ourselves and within our world, knowing that the darkness must always precede the light. Maiden, Mother, Crone. The natural process of life. And for us, the term crone, the hag, should hold no negativity. As we move forward in age, enriching and nourishing others, using our voice to speak out with love, compassion and wisdom. And holding the light for all as we each continue on our own individual spiritual journey. And the Christmas message, 25th of December, the story of the birth of Jesus in the Gospel. And it is only a story, a metaphorical story. Symbolic of the light returning after the dark days. The light is born again after 3 days of the sun standing still. The story of the Gospel. Jesus was dead for 3 days and then rose again, as did so many of the ancient Egyptian, Greek and Roman gods. Jesus being the latest in a long line of gods of various religions and creeds, of which Christianity is the youngest and most recent. Winter solstice, December 21st. Let us celebrate the beginning of the returning of the light, the light that must always come from the preceding darkness. The days leading up to 21st of December, up to the darkest day, this is a time of our deepest communion within ourselves. A time to withdraw our energies inwards, to contemplate, to recharge our spiritual batteries, to sow the spiritual seeds which will come to fruition after this incubation period. For some, the descent into the dark months, this is a hard journey. And this night and day of the winter solstice now brings renewed hope.